Hey there, I'm Ronalds, and this is Poopcast, the podcast, and this is Soup Doge, also known as what do you want to be known as?
Uh, 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 yes.
This is Yes. Uh, so today in this episode, I want to talk about AAA companies and the quality of games that we've been receiving in the past, I don't know, few years, probably around 5 years, wouldn't you say? Like I feel like the quality's definitely gone down in the past 5-ish years, maybe more.
Yeah, I would agree.
Um, yeah, we want to talk about the quality of these AAA games and just why they've been going down, and what these companies are more or less doing. So to start it off, I want to talk about some positive things with AAA games before I go into the negatives, of course, right? So firstly, let's bring up Elden Ring. Massive success. Good job on From Software. It's a amazing game. Super fun to not only watch, but I would say to play as well. This man can confirm it. Go ahead and confirm it.
It's really fun, really fun to play.
It's a it's a true
You've watched me
testament.
play it.
Yeah, it's a true testament to open world games. Which most games anymore they're pseudo open world, but this game's a true open world, like true open world. Actually, really good.
Gives you
Um,
the real experience.
yeah. Most games like for instance, Halo Infinite, that's pseudo open world. This game, this is full open world. Like astounding gameplay, lots of secrets, lots of little missable items. They actively want you to explore rather than ping chasing because there are no pings. There's graces, but they're not pings. Those are just more or less places you go to
The,
fast travel or
the, the respawn points
yeah,
too.
respawn or level up, all that good stuff. Um,
Most Souls players, they'll understand those are. And one
well,
thing I do like about Elden Ring,
not everyone's
one
a
thing I
Souls
do
player,
like,
so
well, any Souls players would, they know.
yeah, yeah.
But one thing I will say is that unlike previous, unless I've only ever played one Souls game, but unlike the one I played, the Graces or the bonfires, what they are really, they're very close together. You don't walk half a level away just to get to one bonfire.
Yeah, but isn't it true that they used to be like super linear Souls games? So it
Right.
makes sense for the
Souls games used to be very linear, but they were also you're you one at least when I played the first one remastered, right?
mm,
The first bonfire was there, right? And then you had to go like an entire half the level without another bonfire. So if you died, you went all the way back to the beginning, had to fight every single mob again. And
or just run past them like any true Souls player.
well, if you ran past them, it would they would come back to bite you later.
Maybe, possibly.
But there's a lot of let's say Elden Ring. There's a lot of things in there that I'll see something and go, huh, I'm gonna fight that. I most times instantly regret it, but I do. I
Yeah,
have fun going, hey, I'm gonna fight that, see if I can win. Most times I don't, because I'm not good enough at the game yet. So.
not yet. Soon, trademark.
And there's just places that are way too high of level for me to go. Like when I got teleported halfway across the map into the area with a bunch of dragons and things I could one shot.
Yeah, and From Software's a AAA game studio developer, and so this is what's expected, right, of a From Software game and of a AAA studio, right? Something that it not only is good but engages the audience to make them feel like it's good, right? The game's very engaging with the player. It's not just you know, here's a thing you can do, although you don't have to progress the story. Yeah, like, of course that's what most of it is, but
There are
you want
scripted
to do that.
bosses.
right?
There are scripted bosses. You have to fight them in order to progress, but
Well, yeah,
you
that's in every.
before you get to those bosses, you can literally just go run. Most of the open world is just there for you to explore until you get to the scripted bosses.
Yeah, it's not forcing something down your throat most of the time, right?
If you want to super level yourself, then go fight the first boss. By all means, you can fucking do that.
True open world right there. Like, I know sometimes when I play games, like, and I'm struggling really hard with the boss, like, does Dark Souls have a difficulty slider? I don't think it does it?
It does not. It is
Okay.
stuck in a perpetual difficulty of fuck you.
Yeah, yeah. So,
And any Souls players watching the VOD or the stream will know that's literally Dark Souls. It's just that's Dark Souls for you.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so the game doesn't discriminate. It's a very tough game. It's a very tough game for anyone who hasn't played Dark Souls, obviously. I know the community doesn't think it's all that tough. It's probably looked upon as the most one of the easier Souls games, but you know what it also has that benefits it very much is a cooperative uh it's able to be co-op. I don't know where I was going with that.
I
It's a
know
co-op game.
previous Souls games have only been like PvP. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, previous Souls games, I know that one has only been PvP, but this one is not just co-op. It also still has its PvP aspects, and co-op is 1 to 3 players, which you don't really see anymore. Besides in PvP games, right? You can team up with a squad of people to fight so many other people, right? In games, but you don't really see co-op story modes, right? And that's something I was really excited about for Elden Ring is you finally get to have a game where you can just bull around with your buddies. You know, it's not something where it's solo all the time or co-op PvP only. It's full on story mode co-op, which is something that's becoming more and more rare as time goes on. But I think that's pretty good for gushing over Elden Ring. Uh, it's a AAA game, and it's how games should be made to make the player want to waste their time, not to force the player to waste their time. You know,
Well, if you enjoyed it, it's not a waste of time. But yeah,
some people argue that video games are a waste of time, but I agree. If you enjoy
well,
it, it's not a waste of
well
time.
the phrasing there is just kind of if you enjoy the game, it's not really a waste of time.
I added
And
firewood.
there's genuine rewards too for Elden Ring. That when you defeat something,
Oh yeah,
it's
there's genuine rewards.
not
Genuine?
like infinite, not like infinite where it's like, hey, here's some multiplayer skins.
Well, I didn't mean anything by the want to waste your time. I just want to make this clear. World of Warcraft is a game that I've been playing since I was a kid, and I've loved to play that game. I love to do everything inside of it until here recently the past couple of expansions. Um, and it was a game that I would spend most of my time on, all my free time on, basically. And anymore, it's just a game that I want to play it. I want to, but like they do so many active things to drive player bases away, like the player base away because anymore the developers, especially in that game, especially in this Blizzard game, the developers have even said as much themselves. They don't make the game for the player anymore. They make the game for themselves.
They want the money.
Well, not even that. They don't make it for player experience. They do it for to make themselves feel good, even if it's a very unenjoyable time for the player. Which I'm gonna
Um,
be honest, that's just ludicrous, right? That's ludicrous. No video game developer should hire devs, should allow devs to work at a company where they're actively saying that they don't care about the player base. They only care about how they feel about the game.
yeah, that can lead to a lot of one-sidedness with the game, and then
Mm-hmm.
much like I hate to rag on Infinite because Halo was the franchise that got me into gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Much like Infinite, where they've shown they don't care at all about the players.
Yeah. Anymore. And this was also in the preview of Infinite. If you did you watch the video like where they were? It was a couple of years ago when they were talking about Infinite's release and coming out. They're like, we finally made the perfect Halo game, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember them. They were hyping it up a lot.
Okay, so that's the issue with developers nowadays. They think they cannot make anything wrong. I'm gonna say I think that's the biggest issue with developers nowadays. They don't think that they can make anything wrong. They believe that what they make is the end all be all, and that nothing can be made better. As to where video game developers in the past, a lot of them in the past, always were very humble, and they would even mention themselves. There's always something we can do better, always, which is true. Even in most tasks in life, you know, you may think I did a really good job, and you probably did, but there's always a room for improvement, always,
In
no matter what.
in everything, no matter what you're doing, there's always room for. There's always something that can be done better. Something can be improved.
But there's this
Nothing is ever perfect.
exactly, and but there's this toxic mindset by video game developers nowadays into saying that what they do is the best shit in the world. Not only that, but that the players, if they don't like something, the players are wrong. Even if it's every player playing the game, right? Every player playing the game does not like this one mechanic, the players are wrong. Which should not be the case, like, at all. This is especially bad in Blizzard games nowadays. Blizzard Entertainment, which includes, well, Activision as well, which includes Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Overwatch. Actually, I haven't heard too many terrible things about Overwatch. People who play Overwatch more or less love Overwatch. Um, Heroes of the
I
Storm, but
don't
that game kind
have
of
much of a
died.
say in Overwatch because I don't play Overwatch, so I can't really say much about it.
From what I've heard, people who play Overwatch really don't mind, but you know, of course they have different studios that work on different games, but the developers over on the Blizzard part for World of Warcraft, um, they are toxic. They're the like they've been through a toxic work environment, and I understand that due to um, the lawsuits and everything that's been happening in the company here lately. But they literally gaslight players when players are upset about something or don't agree with something. Um, they're doing what 343 is doing with the Halo base, and they're trying to overwrite or get rid of. I don't know which one it is, right? But it's one of
Oh,
the two
putting
for
it,
sure.
they're putting this over
Old,
in two different chests.
yeah. They're trying to overwrite or get rid of like old story or things that players love and replace it with their own version. And most of the time, that just backfires. That almost never works, right?
Well, I will say 343 could be really successful making their own story of a Halo game if they did it right.
If they did it right,
They're
but here's the
trying.
thing: the developers are, they won't, right? They've tried multiple times. This is the third game of the row. Four wasn't awful. It wasn't the best. It wasn't awful.
Well,
Five, the
I think
story
that
was
four.
god awful, and then Infinite, I'd have to say the story was very mediocre. It wasn't the worst story I've ever had, but it wasn't
I was
good.
gonna take in, I was gonna take into account those three games were them trying to leech out the success of Master Chief.
Oh yes, I
The
mean that's pretty
success
much
of
what's
that
happening
one
in WoW as
character.
well.
They were trying to leech out the success of that one character.
I mean, they could make a good Halo game. Just make another ODST. That would be great. Or we even had an
ODST
idea a
two.
while ago about a Covenant uh game, right? Where you play as the Covenant. I think that would be astoundingly good, like really good. But
Because
unfortunately, that's
it
probably
was
not going to happen.
it was done in Halo 2, and you played as the Arbiter with the Covenant, and Halo
It
2
was a
was a
banger.
successful
Everyone
game.
loved the Arbiter.
Halo 2 was a very successful game,
Mm-hmm.
and they could do the same thing following the story of one or several elites. Like incorporate components of two and ODST. So you're following the story of multiple different elites as you're going through a Covenant centered campaign.
Yeah, follow something, right? But like I said, it comes back to companies being greedy and developers thinking they can do no wrong, right? These guys just want to sit there and they know the company is only in it for the money nowadays. Most every company is, except for indie companies. And it seems From Software Games, that's the only other one. Uh, you can tell me I'm wrong, but I know I'm right. Uh, there it is. There's the attitude. Anyway, um,
Well, yeah, I fully agree that a lot of companies nowadays are just in for they're trying to do quick cash grabs. They're not trying to make
exactly.
genuine good games anymore.
Like, I hate to rag on Halo so much. Halo, Blizzard, I hate to rag on them so much because
But
they're games that I
Infinite is
really
a
do love. But
Infinite is a perfect example of
it,
what of
it
the
was a
flawed
cash grab.
thinking though.
It was a cash grab. 100%. Anyone who says it's not a cash grab is insane. They came in, they released a quote unquote beta that has a full functioning shop. And as time goes on, the game slowly gets worse and unplayable. The desync is insane. The player base on PC has shrank to, I don't know, probably a tenth of the, no, not, it's probably less than a tenth, like a 20th of
Well,
the size at launch.
considering they were losing half the player base with every month of the game being released. That's
We,
not that's not even like a speculation. That is legit from the Steam charts. They were losing half the player base every single month.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so here's another thing, right? We were promised a roadmap in January for Halo Infinite. A roadmap. Nothing big, just, anticipations for when there should be updates.
Just where's the game
That
heading?
was
What do you have
promised
planned?
in January. It is now March, and we still have yet to get it. There's been no roadmap, no communication, no updates. It's a quote unquote live service game that has received no live service.
Not to mention the the fact that they released the game and then all their employees instantly went on holiday break.
I mean that makes sense. Okay. They released it at a on a holiday month, which is the best time to release a game. But they released a half-baked campaign that was maybe 6 hours. It was less than 6 hours long. So definitely not worth $60 is all I have to say. If you're thinking about getting
Campaign
Infinite, do
was
not pay $60 for it.
the campaign was not worth $60.
Yeah. So yeah. Just letting y'all know if y'all are thinking about getting Infinite. If y'all think about getting like almost any AAA game, wait for a sale. Please wait for a sale. Most of these games are buggy as hell, and they are not good until it's been a year or two.
All of the
Normally.
good games from all the good games are dead now. Like Battlefield 1 went on sale for $10 last week at some point.
I mean, yeah,
And
dude, I want
went
to
to
talk
go
about
play
this
it
too.
and that game is dead as hell.
Yeah, I want to talk about this too. Battlefield 1 was an astounding game. I love that game. I played the shit out of that game, okay?
Oh, I did
I
too. I played the fuck out of it.
I probably put over 100 hours into that game. All right? Probably over 150, 200. I play a lot of games. Anyway, I put a ton of hours into the game back when it was relevant and freshly released. And that was released 2016. It is only 6 years later, and we're getting quality games like Battlefield 2042. What happened in 6 years to cause DICE going from whoop to whoop, just going downhill that much? I mean, they made Battlefront 2. It came out as a piece of shit, right? But it slowly became one of the most beloved DICE games. But that was because of corporation really stepping in and saying we need to make money out of this game. Um, but Battlefront 2, it started out as a piece of shit and it became one of the best games ever. They pulled production from Battlefield to work on not Battlefield, but Battlefront. They pulled production from Battlefront to work on Battlefield 2042. And now Battlefield 2042, let's look at the Steam charts. Actually, you know what? Let's look at the Steam charts. Window capture. Let me pull up Google real quick. That way I can change this. All right. Steam charts. Beautiful, beautiful. You know what? It pulled up Halo Infinite. We'll look at Halo Infinite real quick. All right, let's see. Window capture, turn that on. Properties. I wanted to capture Steam charts. Look at that. Beautiful. Steam charts. Let's see. 24-hour peak for Halo Infinite on PC Steam explicitly is 10,510. The all-time peak was 256,000. That's atrocious. That's pathetic. If they actually worked on the game and made it a live service game like it was promoted to be a 10-year live service game. By the way, the 10-year thing, probably just a production tool. It's not actually like not production, but a advertisement tool. And it's probably not going to be a 10-year game. They're probably going to end production within the next year or so. That's my bet. But its all-time peak is 256,000. And in the past 24 hours, not even a 5-month-old game, it's only hit 10,000. 24-hour peak on Steam, which is pathetic. And it just keeps going downhill. I mean, look at this. This chart is awful. Like, we started up here, and we are all the way over here now. This is the... I wouldn't say it's the worst. We'll look at 2042 here in a moment. We'll see worse. All right. Battlefield 2042. Oh God. Oh, that is horrible. So let's look at it. It already started off with a negative review from the betas. It started out at 100,000 players. That was the all-time peak. And within the past 24 hours, it's only hit 3,000 players. It's only hit 3K. I'm surprised that people played it this much into December, but by the time it hit January, so 2 months after release, the game was basically dead. Like, this game did not last long at all. Neither did Halo Infinite. And to make comparisons, let's look up Master Chief Collection. Chief Collection. Okay, as a 93,000 all-time peak, within the last 24 hours, it's hit 4,500. So it already has half the player base on average to Halo Infinite. And it's been out much longer. Much, much longer. Also, this advertisement's very annoying. Like, granted, it's not doing as well as it could be, probably. But this is marketing games that are 20 years old at this rate. Let's see, it's marketing, games that are decades old. 2 decades old. One that came out in 2004. One that came out in 2006, I believe. And then ODST and Reach, which, pretty sure Reach came out in 2011. Right?
ODST dropped
I have no
shortly
idea.
after Reach did, I'm pretty sure.
Shortly after what?
Shortly after 3, not Reach, sorry.
Okay. So yeah, these are games that are over a decade old that are still being played almost as much as a game that is 6 months old. It's not even 6, it's 5 months, but still.
Can actually look it up real quick.
That goes to show how poorly developed Halo Infinite is, and how these companies, these developer mindsets, all these different factors coming into a game lack of content. Like there's gameplay. The gameplay's good, but the content's not. And even the gameplay has
So,
its flaws, right?
so Halo games. First Halo came out in 2001.
Yep, I knew that one.
Second Halo 2000. Second Halo 2004. Halo 3 07. I'm skipping the Halo Wars games. That doesn't matter. ODST 2009.
Yeah.
So 2 years after 3. Halo Reach 2010. The Combat Evolved Anniversary came out in 2011.
Okay.
Halo 4 dropped in 2012.
I just want to
Halo
say,
Spartan Assault. We're
you,
not
you,
looking
you,
at
can
that
quit, you
one.
can quit listening to them now. I just want to say that's even more pathetic. Because one, that gives these games a lot longer of a time. Two, they had 6 years to work on this one Halo. 6 years, right? To work on one Halo game. And that's the longest production time of any Halo game. If you just listen to the years that he listed off. It's pathetic what the company and the dev mindset have done to this game. I would love to see this game thrive, do well. But with no updates, no communication, and what seems like a nothing but cash grab scheme, I do not blame players for leaving these games as quickly as they can. I mean, Ubisoft's not out of the woods. They make decent games, but they make open world games that have like a shit ton to do, but it's the shit ton of the same shit over and over again. And they're single player games with microtransactions. Who wants that? Who in their right mind would want that? Like, that's like saying Valheim, right? Valheim's a single player game or co op, right? But you can pay to buy wood, right? Or something like that. It's just stupid. Who wants to buy stuff in a single player game? There's no reason for there to be micro transactions in single players. I'm saying that now. No reason. EA is probably the worst company. They own DICE, and looking at 2042s, going back and looking at Battlefield 2042, like there's no reason this should be this low. Right? Battlefield's one of the best. Let's look at Call of Duty Vanguard. I know a lot of people still play Call of Duty. Let's look at Vanguard's numbers. How do you spell Vanguard? Guard. I think that's how you spell it. Now I get the Call of Duty. I'm just gonna type in Call of Duty. I spelled Vanguard wrong, so now I feel insecure. Is Vanguard even on here? I don't even see Vanguard on here.
I don't think it's on Steam.
Oh, is it not? Wow. You ever wondered why it didn't succeed as much as it could have? Well, it's not even on Steam. Holy shit. Really? It's not on Steam? That's where every... Damn, Black Ops 3 be getting some players, though.
No, a lot of the older Call of Duties are on there.
Let me guess, they went to the Blizzard app? Call of Duty?
It's the Blizzard app, yeah.
Yeah, they don't have...
Blizzard Activision, that string of stuff.
Actibliz. That's what it's called normally. Oh, God. But yeah, I just wanted to rant about how the modern gaming system is create a half-baked game and then make as much money out of it as possible. So spend the least amount of money possible to make a game to get as much money as possible out of it. It's no longer about the love for video games like it used to be. And that sucks. It honestly sucks. The only people who have the love for games like it used to be is game developers like the people who made Valheim. Irongate, I think, Coffee Stain Irongate is who made Valheim. And there's no microtransactions. This game's $20. It's one of the most chill games, one of the most fun games. I have over 200 hours logged in this game. And it's not even done. It comes out with free updates. It's early access, and it already feels like a more polished and finished game than most of the AAA titles that I've been playing here lately. And it's quite pathetic. It's quite pathetic. I mean, congratulations to, you know, the people who've worked on Valheim. The game's amazing. It really is. But for a $20 game to not only sell more, but engross players better and keep and retain players better than AAA studios, it's pathetic on part of the AAA studios. These are companies that built themselves off of uh, the players that they are now fucking over. And no one wants that. No one likes that. No one wants that. Except for, the company, of course. They want that. But it's not a good system to have. Because you can only do that so many times before the player's like, you know what? I'm done. I ain't doing it no more. Which, hopefully, will happen, and these guys will, think straight one day. Anything you want to add to that? Actually, I want to look up the Valheim numbers
Yeah,
before.
you pretty much held the points of I'm not gonna beat a dead horse because
I mean, Valheim's 1 year old. Look at these numbers. Look at these numbers. Valheim's 1 year old compared to Halo
not
Infinite, which is a AAA studio. There's almost a
not
40K 24-hour
it's not
peak.
displaying. It's not displaying on screen. It's showing Valheim itself.
Oh my god. I forgot. I got too
Your,
excited.
your amateur is showing.
It is. All right, but I was excited. And you know what? I don't care. But look at that. 24-hour peak, 40K in comparison to the Halo or the Battlefield, which blatant cash grabs, man. That in AAA studios. Like, I don't know what has to happen, but something has to happen to better the AAA studios into actually making games that are worthwhile anymore and not just cash grabs. And if that means, we have to have more competitors that, are independent studios, then, hopefully that happens. I ain't gonna do it, obviously. I don't know how to do that. I know how to code a little bit, but, we need something to happen. What?
I can't make video game.
I mean, I don't know how to. I guarantee if I put enough, time, effort, resources, got a couple of people to work on it with me, I could probably learn and, eventually figure it out. But that would take years, right?
It takes months to even start up a bare bones program
Exactly.
for a game.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is that there needs to be something that happens to better the industry, because at the rate it's going, as gaming may be getting bigger, it's getting it's leaving its roots more or less, and it's becoming industrialized and corporatized. And most people don't want that. Most gamers don't want that. That's the reason that we go into gaming, is because we don't want to deal with that. We want to play a game that we spent whatever amount of money on, $60, $70. We want to go home, play the game, and escape the world that we're in and put ourselves in the world that we're playing. Right? Gaming is all about escapism, and when you have, this cash grab here, this thing here that you have to buy, this thing here, it it just takes away from what gaming's all about. But yeah. All right. Anything you want to say, Chris?
Yeah, well, you pretty much hit it on the head. So
I'm good at ranting, aren't I?
Rant. Rant.
All right, guys. Anything you want to talk about at all? I mean,
No,
speak
not
now or
really.
forever hold your peace until the next podcast.
Not really in a mood to talk about a bunch of stuff.
All right.
Well, gaming related kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, what do you want to talk about?
I'm on a silver. I'm on a silver ore.
Silver. All right, guys.
On a bowl.
All right, guys. If you're watching the stream, make sure to follow. If you're watching the YouTube video, make sure to hit the subscribe and hit that like button. I don't really do this a lot, I guess. I don't really do it a lot. I don't think I do. But, yeah, do that shit. And we'll be back next time on the next video.